Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to this edition, Monday edition, if you will, of Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm Rick Arsenal. If you haven't done so yet, you know the drill. Please, and pardon the voice, this is just all part of the deal. Get down there and smash that like and subscribe button. I can't thank you enough for watching and listening. As I said in the last show, this is going to be a bad summer for me. I can tell that. As soon as the grass got green, uh, things started happening. The voice, watery eye, itchy eyes, scratchy throat, the whole 9 yards, sneezing. So I'll try to get through this as best I can. That's one going to make it relatively short. 10 to 12 minutes, I'll get my sponsors in, and that's going to be about it. Pistons last night were not good. As you can see, they crapped the bed on national TV last night. They got outcoached. They got outplayed. Even though they hadn't played in a week, the Magic looked like they were the team that had more energy. Every time they made a run at them, the Magic had an answer for it. Defensively, they were not good. Kate Cunningham had a good game. What do you have, 39 points? But that was it. Jalen Durham took 4 shots. 4 shots. They never had the lead at any point. They were tied at 65 at the third quarter. That's when Orlando pulled away. They kept coming back. Orlando always had an answer. Frustrating to watch. They're better than this. Yeah, they're better than this. But they still have the dubious distinction yet of never having won, this group of players, a home playoff game yet. We've got to wait now until Wednesday night on ESPN for game 2. It's a must win, pretty much a must win. And I got to thinking last night, watching that, it has a number 8 seed ever swept the number 1 seed in the NBA playoffs. Sorry to say, folks, if it hasn't happened, it could very well happen this year. I'm serious. They just didn't look like the same team we've been watching all year. And as I've said before, NBA playoffs are an entirely different animal than the NBA regular season. 60 wins right now means nothing. They lose this opening series to the Magic. 60 wins during the regular season will mean absolutely nothing. And now maybe we can understand why the so-called experts in Las Vegas were making them like the 4th or 5th favorite to come out of the East. Boy, they'll have to play better than they did last night. Let's hope last night was just an anomaly. But it wasn't good. Wasn't good, and it was hard to watch. Tigers today played. Before we get to that, let's get the sponsors out of the way. As you know, the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale has been serving this community of ours for the better part of 40 years, more than 4 decades. And there's a reason why. It's simply, folks, the best sit-down restaurant in our area. In every phase, in every facet. Where do you want to start? The hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, open until 8 on Fridays with all-you-can-eat fish. As I've said before, they are working on, and I don't know how soon this is going to go, a classic car drive-in every Thursday night, and then they would be open until 8. I don't have all the specifics on that yet, but it sounds like it's going to happen. And as soon as this does, I'll let you know right here. Sounds like a lot of fun. And, as the weather warms up, we get into much longer days. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And a nice concept, very nice concept on Paul and Gavin at the Finish Line. Like I said, across from Aerosmith Running on Carlton Road in Hillsdale, everybody knows where the Finish Line is. Award-winning breakfast served all day. I don't have a script, so this is simply testimonial. I speak from experience. It's the best sit-down restaurant in our area. Great family atmosphere. fast, friendly service. As I said, award-winning breakfast served all day. It's all good. Reasonably priced, a lot of new menu items. They're all good. I've had them all. It's great. Number one in our area, sit down, comfort food, family restaurant, Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. And I can promise you, when you fuel up from food at the finish line, you will always finish first. Okay. And after you paid your bill and you're walking headed out that door, you'll feel comfortably satisfied and you'll have a smile on your face. I can promise you that. I better see you there. Okay. That's the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance. And I've got a question here for seniors. Might get by this. Seniors, have you got your playbook ready for Medicare? Well, do you? Don't let healthcare costs bench you. We're calling an audible with Joe Rudin at Barrett Insurance to help you navigate Medicare and health insurance. Whether you're aging into Medicare, you're in a special enrollment period, or you're simply losing other coverage, Joe's got the stats and the know-how to help you score the best coverage for your needs. Plus, get a game plan for retirement healthcare costs. That's very important. What about businesses? Businesses don't get sacked. Joe's got group health coverage options for you too. Give him a call at 517-849-1000 or check him out at www.barrettins.com. That's all one word. You'll find him on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. That's Joe Rudin Insurance, protecting your dreams. 517-849-1000. That's barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale. As you know, wasn't for them, we wouldn't be doing this presentation right here. 37 Waldron Street, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street, 517-610-5372. The only place in our area to go for tech services. There's no other place to go. This is it right here. Okay. Anything at all that has to do with tech services. Computers, new or used, flat screen, big TV, flat screen mounting, programming, setup. Maybe you're changing internet providers, you need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Just get in there and see them. I don't care what it is. They're more than capable of resolving any issues you have in regard to tech services. Okay, Tim Lindley and his staff. Nobody does it better. 517-610-5372, or like I said, 37 Waldron Street in downtown Hillsdale. Get in there and tell them Mickey sent you. Thank you very much. Tigers played today, Patriots Day. The game started a little after 11 o'clock. They lost to the Red Sox 8-6. Another bad day for Jack Flaherty. This guy, you just don't know what you're going to get. Coming off of two fairly good outings, 6 walks, 6 more walks, and he didn't get out of the fourth inning. In 23 innings pitched this year, Jack Flaherty has surrendered 20 walks. That's not going to work. I'm sorry, Jack. That's not going to work. If I were them, I'd skip his next outing in order to place him at the bottom of the rotation. In other words, make him the 5th starter. And as far as this Drew Anderson experiment, they were down 6-3 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson comes in and gives them, just for good measure, gives up 2 more runs, pretty much put the game out of reach. That made it 8-3. Tigers came back with 3 at the top of the 9th. Wasn't enough. Drew Anderson, I'm sorry. We can send him back to Korea or do whatever you want with him, but he's not cutting the mustard right now. And they have to decide, too, what they're going to do with this Spencer Torkelson, who did not play today. He was not in the lineup. What's he batting now? 180. Does not have a home run yet. He's starting to strike out a lot again. It's been a bad April for him. He didn't have a very good spring either. I think he's out of options. What I mean by that is you can't send him back to Toledo and call him back up again. So I don't know. I want you to do with him. So right now the Tigers are what, 12 and 11? You know, if you look at the standings in the major leagues, in both leagues, uh, except for the National League Central Division, all the other teams in the other 5 divisions are pretty right about 500, a little above or a little under. I single out the National League Central because if you go in and look at their standings, the Milwaukee Brewers, who begin a series at Comerica Park with the Tigers tomorrow night, are in last place, but they're 3 or 4 games over 500. Every team in that division has a winning record. The New York Mets have lost 11 in a row. At one point, they were 7 and 4. Now they're 7 and 15. Then in last place in the National League East. Met fans, I don't know what to tell you. They're sinking fast, and boy, they're already now 8 games under 500. That's going to, you know, they've dug themselves a hole. And you know how the media is in New York. I would think if this continues, you'll see some definite changes being made there with the Mets. But it is early. It is April. But boy, they've already dug themselves a hole. And it's going to be tough to get. Tigers will be there, what, in a couple of weeks? I think the Tigers will be playing the Mets here in a couple of weeks. Let's hope they're still floundering when we go in there. Okay. NBA. Got NBA on the mind here. NFL draft. We're now about 72 hours away from round 1 Thursday night at 8 o'clock in Pittsburgh. On Wednesday night, I will tell you who I think the Lions are going to take with their first pick. I don't necessarily think it'll be at 17 where they are now. I think it could be they could trade up or trade down. Which is what Brad Holmes seems to like to do. If the guy is there that they want in that first round, and again, he said last week they don't necessarily have to take an offensive tackle or a defensive edge with those first 2 picks. I don't think that's true. I think nothing could be further from the truth. I think that's a smokescreen. And yeah, for a lot of people, grown-ups like us, the draft, NFL draft, is kind of like Christmas Day for kids. The anticipation, the build-up, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell both this year, especially on Brad Holmes because his last 2 drafts have not been very good, and he knows he's got to produce something this year, or people are going to, you know, start to talk about him even more. But I don't, well, what he has and what the Lions have in their favor is a very deep draft in offensive linemen, specifically tackles. A lot of good ones out there. Same thing with the edge. Okay. Defensive ends. They're fairly deep. I see some drafts that have them taking a cornerback or safety early, given the situation with that secondary right now. Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. I don't know what to tell you about either one of them. There's no guarantee either one of them will be there to start the season. The corners, Terrion Arnold. I think you can already label that guy a bust. DJ Reed, you know. Yeah, and this is the most important draft ever for Brad Holmes, and it starts Thursday night. Good luck, Brad. I'll tell you Wednesday night who I think they're going to take with that first pick. Okay? Before we leave, though, there was one deal made. The Giants traded a disgruntled defensive lineman, Mr. Dexter. I call him Mr. Dexter, okay? That's what I call him. Anyway, he wanted to get paid, okay? So they traded him to the Cincinnati Bengals for the Bengals' first-round pick, which is number 10 overall on Thursday night. Just another player that wanted to get paid. Okay. And you know what they say about the squeaky wheel. So I'm a little bit surprised they got a first round pick for him, but they did. I don't think he's worthy of that. And the Bengals needed somebody to replace Trey Hendrickson, who they had traded to Baltimore. So we'll see how what kind of an impact that has on the first round of the draft, or at least the first 10 picks anyway. Can't wait. So I will tell you on Wednesday who I think the Lions are taking with that number 1 pick. Of course, that's assuming he's still there. That's why I say they could move up if they want to get him bad enough. If they have enough draft capital, they can do that. Okay. I think we covered everything. Give the voice a rest. That's going to do it. I'll talk to you all again on Wednesday. So until then, I'll simply say thank you so much for watching and listening. You don't know how much I appreciate this. Please remember to tell your friends. The subscriber to my podcast will be the winner. And if you're already a subscriber, you can tell them what they're going to win. Okay. All right. Thank you. So until Wednesday, then I'll simply bid you all a very pleasant good evening. Like I said, thanks so much for watching and listening. Remember, please treat each other with respect. So until Wednesday, I'll simply say good night. So long, everybody.